Divine Ingenuity is both the best and worst event Genshin Impact has ever had. I'm a huge fan of it, and yet it has shown the most problems with the game's design of anything put out so far. I don't usually make videos about short-lived video game events, but this one is special. Let's talk about it. First, let me make this clear. Nothing I will criticize about this event is really a criticism of Genshin Impact as a whole. And that's somewhat the problem. A Mario Maker type mechanic is so disconnected from the core gameplay experience of Genshin that it was bound to be rough. At the same time, my praise for the event also has nothing to do with Genshin either. I just really like level editors. For a long time, I've played games with level editors. I played a ton of platform racing too, to the point that was most of my YouTube content in the past. I played Roblox. I played Cube 2 Sauerbraten, an open source Quake-like that you've never heard of. And by played, I mean I spent dozens if not hundreds of hours making levels for these games. I even got a map into an official Sauerbraten release. But all these games were built around level editors, and more importantly, built for platforming. Divine Ingenuity is more like the janky stage editor from the Smash Bros. Games, and in a game engine not built for precision platforming. So now we get to the criticisms, mostly stemming from how Genshin is not designed to be a platforming challenge game, with many design decisions going directly against that. Let's ignore skills or even timing or precision entirely. Because you gain stamina from upgrading statues of the Seven, I could create a level that's impossible for new players to complete just by making a really tall wall to climb you need maximum stamina for. That's a design that's fundamentally incompatible with a platforming challenge game. Yet upgrading stamina is not a bad design decision for Genshin Impact. Neither is having tall characters run faster, or even the biggest source of exploits by far for this event, unique character skills. Genshin is built around combat and open-world exploration. Jumping puzzles are somewhere around the priority level of potion crafting. That is, something you'll rarely interact with. Did you remember that there's potions in Genshin? I haven't used any for more than a year. The main design goals for Genshin were making characters feel unique for combat and to make exploration fun, and they nailed it. Despite that, I still love this event. There have been some really cool levels that people have put out, some of which even use the bad design of the event to their advantage. I would be lying if I said I didn't find glitch levels cool. And what's the point of unique skills if you don't design around them? Scaling walls with Geo-Traveler is fun, as is using any Animo skills or Kaching parkour. But speaking of creative levels, one thing y'all need to stop making is narrow mazes with waves of damage coming through the walls. Yeah, it's a challenge, but it's completely no fun at all to play. Genshin can't make permanent additions that are character-specific beyond story quests, and that was almost entirely limited to shooting fire arrows with Amber and freezing water with Kaya in the first few hours of the game. On that note, I would love to see water and co-op in a future iteration of this event, so I can host the World Ice Bridging Championships. I'm also glad you cannot place enemies in this event. It's a nice change to not have to fight anything, and while I would love to vacuum up 100 hilichurls at once with Venti, it would just create more balancing issues with available characters while not making the event any more fun. But speaking of other features, I would love to see some switches and breakable objects to place around, especially targets to hit with bow characters. It's a lot of potential for timed archery courses from this game mode. Show off aiming skills rather than pure DPS. By the next time this event comes around, if ever, there will probably be some new, original mechanics like the Electrogramma from Inazuma. Even with very few changes, I'd still like to see this event again. As I've called this the best event so far, I guess I have no choice but to say that, at least for now, it's a 10 out of 10. So that's my thoughts on Divine Ingenuity. It's a great event in a game that just isn't built for it, at all, and I want more. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments, and let me know what you think about this type of video. I'm still working on longer stuff, but occasionally I play or watch something that's just really interesting and want to talk about it. Show me your cool levels that you made. Did you make anything particularly jank or designed for a specific character? Here's the levels I made for the event if you want to check them out. I made this one featuring backtracking from room 2 to room 1 again, and having to find enough coins. Then I made this more tuned time challenge, You also have low health, but you're much more likely to just run at a time than to take too many hits here. And lastly, there's the third level, which I made while making footage for this video. Check them out, the codes are in the description. Thanks for watching, bye.